Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the TM-02 Khanjali in Grand Theft Auto Online. I've never customized this thing on the channel. Unfortunately, you can only own one Khanjali, so I've actually had to just de-upgrade mine, and then we're going to re-upgrade it, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to put on this thing. Now, in order to own the Khanjali, I will tell you guys before we get any further into this, you are going to need to own a facility. That is the most important thing with the Khanjali. You cannot buy a Khanjali without the facility. Luckily, this week the Khanjali and the facility both are on sale, so if you guys are picking up a Khanjali this week, now is the time to get the facility in order to store this thing as well, so make sure you go ahead and do that this week. So here we are inside of my facility. We're gonna go ahead and hop back into the Khanjali, and we're gonna start customizing this thing. Starting off with the armor, we're gonna go all the way up on that. Of course, the brakes, we gotta go race on those. For the engine, as you guys can see, I've already got it maxed out. Now we can also equip this thing with a proximity mine dropper, which we are going to go ahead and do because that is quite useful. For the headlights, we are going to go xenon, of course. For the livery, we do have a lot of different options here. Now this thing is in white right now, so we probably will change the color of it later. I typically go for the Urban Warrior camo, but we might do something a little bit different for this customization today, just because I want to do something. I want to do something a little out there, a little out of the ordinary for myself. So I kind of like the Desert Fractal look. I like the Urban Fractal as well. What else do we have here? You know what? I think I am gonna go for the Desert Fractal. I'm gonna go for a different sort of color scheme on this thing than I usually go for. For the respray, obviously we have the crew color and stuff that we could do this thing in, but I'm gonna avoid that. I kind of want to go ahead and look at some of the tans and stuff like that. Like we have Desert Tan here. That looks interesting. I kind of like the look of it. Maybe we'll go for that. We have Dark Earth, we have Olive Drab, Foliage Green, Forest Green as well. We have regular green. You know what? I think the Desert Tan is probably going to look the best, so we're going to go for that for the primary color. For the secondary color, we're also going to match that as Desert Tan. I think that is going to look you know, pretty good. For the turret, we could do it in black. I think that it does kind of make sense to do it in black. I feel like it looks just generally a little bit better. So we're gonna go ahead and do this in matte black because it kind of works better, I feel like. Now for the primary cannon, this is an important thing with the Khanjali that not a lot of people are going to know about, especially if you haven't looked into the Khanjali before. The regular cannon on this thing has a shorter range than the railgun cannon. Now the railgun cannon can also be charged up to shoot even further. So the railgun cannon, if you're versing another Khanjali, you're gonna hope that you have the railgun cannon that they don't. Obviously you're gonna hope that you have better aim as well, but the railgun cannon is gonna give you a better chance of killing whatever you're trying to kill because it does have that longer range, and it does also have the charged shot. So we're gonna go ahead and put the railgun cannon back on my Khanjali. We also have this upgrade. This is the remote grenade launcher upgrade. Now this is operated by the third and fourth people in your Khanjali, and it's only operated by them. So what you're gonna have to ask yourself is if you're gonna be playing with 3 and 4 people. If you're only going to be playing with 2 people, you're going to be able to drive this thing, operate the main gun. Your secondary person is going to be able to operate this 50 cal turret that you see on the top of it. And your third and fourth players are going to be able to operate each of the grenade launchers. So you're going to have to ask yourself if you're going to play with 3 and 4 people very often, and if it's worth it to buy it for you. It is $300,000, which is kind of a lot of money for one little upgrade. Now, I do believe the grenade launchers are limited ammo. They also kind of suck low-key, but you didn't hear that from me. They're, they're good to have, I would say, but only if you play with as many people as you need to actually operate them. Now, I'm going to go for them just for the sake of this customization. I don't ever play with people in my Khanjali, so it's fine. Turbo tuning, we are going to add that onto this thing because we want this thing to be as fast as possible. Obviously, it is a tank, and that is pretty much it for the customization options that we have for this vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and take this thing outside of the facility. We're going to take it for a little drive. I'm going to show you guys what the Khanjali can do. I do think that it looks pretty good in this camo. I'm not super happy that on the top of it, the camo appears darker than on the sides, which is kind of weird, but you know what? It works. Well, it'll have to work. So as you guys can see, this thing does have the proximity mine dropper that you can drop proximity mines with. Now, I'm not sure if this is unlocked via the bunker research. I think that this is its own thing because this came out with the Doomsday heist. So I'm pretty sure you don't need bunker research in order to do this, but you might. So just keep that in mind. Now, as far as the cannon goes, I'm going to show you guys. This is the charged shot. As you guys can see, you can charge up the cannon, and then you don't even have to let go. Eventually it just shoots, I think. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, my bad. So with the charged shot, you guys will be able to see I should be able to hit the bottom of the water right there. As you guys can see, I hit it. Now we're gonna shoot without the charged shot, and you guys can see it blows up a little bit before it hits the water. You guys can see that there's the explosion. Now watch with the charged shot. See, it hits the water. So the charged shot gets a little bit further range, which is nice to have. Like I said, in PvP scenarios, the charged cannon can actually really help you. I'm not gonna lie. Now, it's not the most useful thing. Is it worth 300k? It really depends on what you're doing with the Khanjali. If you're just fighting NPCs, you're probably not gonna need the charged cannon, but if you want it, I'd say go for it. It's not a bad upgrade to have. It's certainly worth it if you have the extra money to spend on it, that's for sure. Now, as far as performance goes with the Khanjali, I'm not sure that anybody is concerned about performance. It is literally a tank, but just so you guys are aware, this thing is piss slow. It is so slow. The acceleration bar, even with the turbo, I don't even think it gets halfway up. So, you know, it's not exactly something that you guys would probably expect to be that quick. As you guys can see, the proximity mines are, well, heavily effective. This thing does also have pretty decent armor. It can take 8 RPGs or 8 homing missiles, which is a pretty good amount. It's not as much as some other vehicles in the game. For example, like the Night Shark can take 8 RPGs and like 27 homing missiles. So an Oppressor Mark II can take you out very easily in the Khanjali, and you're going to have a pretty hard time actually killing an Oppressor with the Khanjali. So just keep that in mind. Probably the only way that you could really defend yourself from an Oppressor Mark II is if you have a secondary gunner operating that 50 cal on the top of this thing, because that thing does pump out some damage. So, you know, be aware of that. If you do have a secondary player to play with, they will be able to do some work for you with that machine gun on the top. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Now the Khanjali, obviously, yeah, handling, it's a tank. It actually, to be fair, it actually does handle quite nicely. It turns on a dime. In fact, you don't even really need to be moving with this thing to get it to turn around. It has a super good turning circle. Obviously, it's a tank. One track can go and the other one just stays. It is very good at climbing. That is something that I will say for sure. The Khanjali, it'll pretty much get you anywhere you want to go on the map. This thing doesn't take no shit. It's a very good vehicle. Like, it is a very good vehicle. Even if you're just fighting NPCs, the Khanjali is really good. It's really good at killing cops. If you guys like going on like long cop killing sprees, then the Khanjali is a good vehicle for you to have, I would say. Overall, it is just a very good vehicle, and while it's on discount, it is something that I 100% recommend picking up. This is an absolutely awesome vehicle. It never goes on sale either, so make sure you do not miss this sale. If you guys are watching this in the future, even at full price, the Khanjali is a great vehicle to have, and I would still highly recommend picking it up. But yeah, like I said, guys, if you don't have a Khanjali, if you don't have a facility, make sure you buy both of them this week. This discount is absolutely crazy, so make sure you take advantage of this. You're gonna regret it if you don't. Yeah, the Khanjali is excellent. The facility is good to have too. So go ahead and pick these up if you guys have some extra money, and if you don't have extra money, make sure you make some this week in order to get both of these things. Anyway, guys, that is it for the Khanjali customization and review in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed this video, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike, subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.